All right, so yeah, welcome back from that commercial break. It's now time to do business tour, and of course, I've been joined inside the studios of AIT TV with my colleague here. He is in the person of Nana Kobina Wiredu, and I also have my guest seated with me here. He is in the person of Dr. Godwin Gaduga. He is a chartered economic policy analyst, and of course, our topic for discussion this morning is the implications of 2025 budget on business profitability. Hi, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I hope you are doing well.
A bright new day.
A brand new day, indeed. Yeah. All right, so thank you so much for coming. So this morning, we're actually going to look at the implications of the 2025 budget with regards to our business profitability. Now, before I'll go to my very first question. Let's take a look at this. The theme for the budget is actually resetting the economy for the Ghana we all want. But I want to ask that how realistic is this goal?
Okay, so let me take you from personal view to national view.
Okay.
Okay, as an individual, if you realize that your life is not going the way you should go, you need to fall back to reset yourself. And for you to do that, the first thing you need to do is to assess your current situation so that you can have a clarity of purpose as you go forward.
Okay.
And so coming to the budget, I'm sure the party in question has really done their assessment to realize that the country is in a big problem. And for the country to move to where we want to see it, they need to reset certain things. And so by resetting it, it means that we are realigning our pillars, our poles, our priorities, and then our approach to things. Resetting doesn't mean that we are going to attain a holistic or a profitable goal from day one. No. It may come with its challenges because there will be a systemic adjustment. And so how well fit are we to adjust within the time frame? In the short term, there will be issues. But in the long run, we hope that things will work better for us.
Okay, we hope that things will work better for us indeed. Now, looking at the budgets that was presented yesterday and the previous budgets that we've actually heard about and all of that, what can you really say about it in terms of the business aspect? What are some of the impacts with regards to the business aspect can you talk about as comparing yesterday's budget to previous budgets?
All right. Thank you, Nanama. You look at previous budget and then yesterday's budget, you realize that the issue that people were talking about has to do with taxation. Because from the time the previous government took over, they also came with one particular slogan: moving from taxation to productivity. And so that was the hope. And in my opinion, that was when the reset should have started. And so you realize that there has been more taxes than expected. And that has weakened most businesses. Yesterday has seen a little switch from tax, and we are forging to productivity. Now, you look at the budget, and one of the innovative things that has been said was the Ghana Gold Board that was set. Now, you realize that one of the killer diseases that we are experiencing is the exchange rate issue. And the goal of this is to resolve that issue. However, whatever it is that we hope to, it will be dependent on the monetary discipline and then physical discipline. Now, if these two were managed previously, I don't think it will be here. But because there were misplacements and mispriorities surrounding and indiscipline surrounding those sectors, we have seen these issues of the budget for the previous year not really working. One of the mention that was made in the previous budget were the Agenda 111 thing, which was a very good thing. If we had taken our time to do it, a project at a time, I'm sure by now, if we have not hit the 100 project we aim to achieve, and we have done about 50%, and they are functional, I don't think there will be a need for a reset. But because we have scattered the project, and they are all cost. If the cost has been concentrated, a project at a time, we'll get somewhere.
Sure.
But we have done foundation for about 1,000 projects. We have wasted resources.
Okay.
And so, if there is a right in that space, we would have taken it and make offers. People, unemployment issues that we were talking about would have been a thing of a past, because you will employ more people. Now, that again would have made agro-business and agriculture a profitable business for even with the youth, because the decoration and the package for it would have been such that every youth will long to go into agri. We will not be bothered about going to office and then wear tie, imprison ourselves in that, inhaling air condition. We think that it is fun, but we are accumulating sickness. You know, that would have been an alternative. And then we spread our wings. And that will help the country to see, in the short term, it will not be that much, but in the long term, like 8 years, we would have been seeing some profit of those projects, but it hasn't. This particular, yesterday's budget gave hope for growth and sustainability. And so that is, sorry, that is the difference between yesterday's budget and
that's of the previous budget.
Though ambitious, but there are tenets of possibilities in there, provided there will be transparency in the implementations of all the projects, accountability, discipline in the monetary and fiscal space. I don't think we'll have an issue.
Okay, thank you very much. But I'm pretty sure that aside the presentation of yesterday's budgets, that is the 2025 budget, I think things were really not clear as to when they are really going to put things in order. Because an example is this taxation that we are talking about, abolishing the e-levy, emission tax and all of that. It was not really stated that, okay, maybe in the month of May, the month of August, in the month of blah, 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 this is where we are going to start working on this. And I think lots of people out there are really complaining about that, yes, those presentation or the budgets that was actually read yesterday is actually hopeful, because looking at, previous budgets as compared to this, we all can say that, okay, you need a BB, so it's hopeful. But as to when these things are going to be abolished and when they are going to be implemented, is the problem. What can you say about this particular one?
Right. You know, budget is just a policy material. And after the presentation by the finance minister, it will not take effect until Parliament approves. And so we are hoping from now until next week that the debate will start. And then once it is approved, it becomes a working document. Then the minister and then the other team that he will constitute will then table whatever issues that has been stated in the budget into action. And so, give or take, we allow ourselves from now to mid-year to see how things will unfold. Because if Parliament delays in accepting or adopting,
there's no way we can proceed.
Exactly. So it will still be a policy guide that will not be implemented. But I don't think that Parliament will be that wicked to sit on this important document and then be playing politics with it. But they will fast track action on that and make sure that whatever they say is working. Because when you look at their statement, they were actually of the view that, okay, you have promised to eradicate certain taxes, which of course our presidential candidate was also in the same soup, that when I come, I'll take off these taxes.
Sure.
Okay, so now you have stated it in your policy. We are for it. You bring it, and they will support you to take it out. But you see, one argument that we constantly make is that if you take it, don't bring new taxes.
Okay.
That, you see, taxes can come in different forms, but you bring taxes that will not have direct and indirect effect on the consumer or you and I.
Okay.
So there are certain taxes like those who hold pistol, private guns, and then all that. If you tax them, it will not affect you and I. So if the tax is like 10%, anybody who is going to buy a gun, you pay a tax of 10%. And then you increase it to 50%. You see, you have widened the tax rate.
Sure.
And so it will not affect you and I. It will only affect the small individual. Exactly. And so you have introduced a new tax, but it's not affecting the ordinary Ghanaians.
Okay.
And so we are skewed when we are making the argument. We skew the argument to favor political goals, but we have not opened the discussion to see other possibilities that will not affect the ordinary Ghanaians. And so if we take e-levy, all these things, and then we increase the tax over there, you know, there are many prominent people who want to hold gun because of security issues. And so if we tax them more, we'll get more. Because if the gun is costing, let's say, 10 million Ghana cedi, and you tax 50%, it's a huge income, which cannot be compared to e-levy and then the COVID rate.
Emission.
Exactly. And so let's look at the bigger picture and then see. And you see, one thing about tax is that when you offload too much tax on people, there will be an issue of compliance. People will not pay tax.
Sure.
They will be running away. But reduce the tax, make it so simple, and then let people comply. You see, when the tax is 1 cedi and there is no e-levy tax on it, people will pay with their phones. So they know that, okay, there is no electronic tax when I'm paying my tax to DRA. And so I can pay my tax at the comfort of my home because it's 1 cedi and I can just send it to a designated account. And so compliance will be high. You don't need to come and force me to comply with taxes. I know this is my core duty. The other thing is that you look at the infrastructure space, we are worse off. The roads everywhere. Now we don't have potholes, we have manholes on the roads.
Sure.
And so if you frequently go to the workshop, will you drive again? You park your car. And so you can't afford to be paying taxes thinking that, okay, it goes to resolve certain primary issues that individually we cannot afford. And then you are not seeing anything. You would want to fall back. When you earn the money, you will not declare everything. You declare to them what you think is reasonable, according to you.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Okay, so Honorable, let me ask you this question. You see, do you think that the Parliament and Ghana as a country meets their expectation after the presentation of the budget?
When you look at the majority of Ghanaians, I think the budget has kind of been a welcome address for them. Most business sectors and then other financial sectors have welcomed the budget with the hope that it is coming to realign certain things that they were hoping could have been done 8 years ago or 16 years ago. But right now, they have seen the thing. With the business people, you know, Ato has mentioned that there has been a reduction in the T-bill. Now, that will force banks to reduce their lending rate. So more businesses will now be going for capital instead of equity. So they will go in and borrow more. And then you see the system is such that it's now becoming user friendly.
Yeah.
And so people will now expand their businesses with the support of the labor.
Okay.
If I expand, I'll employ more people.
Okay.
And then in turn, they'll pay more tax. And then the government will get what he wants.
Okay.
And so individuals will have more money in their pocket to consume more. And by so doing, we are also helping the farmers.
Okay.
You get it? Now, Parliament, Parliament may embrace the whole thing, but you see, they may accept it in its holistic form, but because Parliament is made up of two components, whether they accept it or not, you see that divide.
Okay.
You get it? So from their demeanor, you will see that this one, we were not expecting it, but let's go and counter it. You get it? Okay. That is a posture that you will see. But internally, you will realize that, yes, we know that we have burdened Ghanaians with so much tax. Otherwise, I don't think that Dr. Bawumia will come and say that the taxes that I have supported my boss to implement, I will come and then remove them. No. You get it? So they know themselves that there were certain things that they have done to Ghanaians that were wrong.
Okay.
But because somebody is ahead of something, you cannot go beyond your boss to instruct certain things. Sure. So if I have the power, I'll correct the wrongs of my boss.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
But as it is in a political or a democratic state, even if I accept it, it will be internal. I'll not come out to say because I'll be the devil in my party.
Okay. Yeah, let me ask you this one too. Yeah, there was an economic dialogue before the presentation of the budget. Do you think the economic dialogue find its way in the budget?
I think that has shaped, because that has set the tone for Ghanaians to know where the budget will take its course.
Okay.
And you see, we have not had that before. And I think that should be a thing that we should be doing every now and then.
Okay.
So that before the budget, we know the state of operation, and then we know where we are moving from where we are today.
Okay.
And so the dialogue has set the tone for the budget. And it has given us, if you follow the discussion, it has given us a roadmap as to the dimension and then the opportunities the government hope to implement. And you see, the focus has been more of the youth, because the president has been that let's empower the youth. Okay. And by saying that, he has really done that, because when you look at his ministers, they are all youth.
Yeah. But apart from that, you see, during their campaign, they made mention of 24-hour economy, and the financial minister stated that the 24-hour economy budget will be added later, of which I think the 24-hour economy was their main, how do I even put it? That is what Ghanaians were relying on.
One of their main,
the main campaign messages. Yet, they have taken that 24-hour economy away, but they are doing the other thing. Do you think it wouldn't affect their government?
No, I think mention has been made with the 24-hour economy, like other sectors that they are looking at to implement.
Okay.
It cannot be done holistically. They are being strategic with the budget. The budget policy is a strategic document for the party, if you look at it. And so they are targeting it sector by sector. They don't want to repeat a holistic approach to things like the previous government did, so that they will be found wanting, not implementing as they say. So they are holding it unit by unit.
Okay.
So you realize that they have seen that the major things they need to erase from the system were the 4 taxes that they promised to erase. Okay. Now, when that is erased, it opens up for the business for them to push the 24-hour approach. Yes, so it's a strategic move they have.
Okay.
Actually, let me finally ask this one. You see, whatever presentation we do, there are some key components. I want to ask, this is a straight question. What are some of the key components in the budget?
Okay, so like we were saying, the betting tax that has been taken out, the e-levy thing, the emission, and then you have infrastructure approach to how the system is going to be governed, and then few others that there's 13.8 something budget that has been the allocation for infrastructure development. Yes, that is the big push. And you see, I say again that they are being strategic with some of these things they are doing, because out of their dialogue they realize that, and even before the dialogue, they have done their assessment. From when, before the government constituted the committee for that project. And so they knew where they were. And then if you check back years ago, you realize that Professor Agyiri has been on the issue of fiscal discipline and then all that.
Yeah, even the financial minister made mention of that.
Exactly. And so that has been one key thing that has destroyed the previous government. Yes. And so you realize that from the beginning of the budget to end, the indiscipline has been like a ringing tone.
Kept on reoccurring.
Exactly. And so it means that they have positioned a strategic people in the sector to help them reshape the system. And so if you have all those people over there, they are going to give you their best of advices, because tomorrow, if the system fails, you were on the board. And so there is no way that if tomorrow you are saying anything, I'll take you seriously. You get it? And so they put the strategic people in the sector. Dr. Yankson, is it not a strategic mind? And so if you have him as the chairperson of the economic management team, it means that you have a certain prospect that you want to achieve. And so when you have these people on board, you don't expect that you offload your project at a go. That is what the opposition party is missing. And so it's like, we cannot predict these people. We thought they will come in a holistic way like they used to do. But right now, they are being strategic. And so it will be difficult for you to preempt their actions, but before you realize, they are doing it.
Yeah, but let me since we are on the economic dialogue, you see, and before the after the economic dialogue, the financial minister engaged the traders. Personally, I thought it was a political gain, because if indeed the traders are very, very important in the presentation of the budget, you should have also invited them to the economic dialogue. Do you get it? Because if you want to get ideas from the ordinary Ghanaians, I think that is how it's supposed to be. But you didn't do it that way. But after the economic dialogue, you went to the market women to engage them, of which the budget has written. It's being written already. Don't you think it's a political gain, or was it also necessary to engage the traders before the presentation?
Well, it is necessary.
It is, if it is necessary. Yes. I think you should have engaged them during the economic dialogue.
That is what you think.
You see, don't forget that at the dialogue, some of their reps were there. The Association of Traders and then their heads, they were there. But they felt that, I'm sure he felt that, okay, these people may not communicate what we intend to do to the people. So let me go, and then it shouldn't be a hearsay. let me have one-on-one with
the
you.
horse's own mouth.
Exactly. So what are your issues? Okay, I'm here now. Tell me your issues and I'll take it upon myself and then expect an action from me. If I fail, note it down. And then tomorrow, if I come again, you question me on those things. So that is why I said all the moves they are making, they are very strategic with the moves they are making. We have not seen this happen before. As a finance minister will go to the market, engage them, and then even if you see, when you look at the Maslow's theory of need, the third row is about love, belongingness. Humans, okay, when we have somebody who gives us affection without giving us money, that one is enough. Because you feel that you belong to the party, you belong to national issues. So for him to go and then engage them in a discussion, even if he has done nothing to them, they feel that, we have been respected. And before the budget was read, we were even asked questions. So it means that the budget that has been read, we were part of it. It was a psychological twist that they implemented. And so even if you are not there, let's say that, okay, there is an occasion going on here around the neighborhood. You are not invited. But then the people walk up to interview you. And then before you realize there is a program ongoing over there, won't you feel part of the program?
Yeah, sure.
Because your opinion has been sorted, and then you profile what you think should be done to make the function very successful. And so once it is there, like, your head will be big, and that was what they did for the market women. And so they are happy. And you see that the noise from the market is now going down.
Yeah.
Because they feel part of government decision. Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. Now, government has actually said to reintroduce tolls. Now, how is this really going to impact on transportation?
Okay, so short term, we'll see some heckles. There will be some challenges.
Okay.
Yes, because toll is not a new thing. It's an old thing that has been scrapped. When you look at all the roads, trust you me, they are not in good shape.
Okay.
Now, if my issue, if they bring the toll has no direct to say impact on the transport fee we pay. It is the cost of the fuel.
Okay.
Mostly when they increase the toll from 50 pesos to 1 cedi, you don't hear drivers saying we are going on strike too. When they hear fuel price increment, that is when they make noise.
Okay.
Because the impact is much more than the toll. And so in the short run, we may have issues scratching our heads with.
Okay.
But in the long run, when they collect the toll and they use the money to repair all the roads, you realize that the cost of transport fare will go down, will not be a much issue because there will not be much repairs of cars.
Okay.
Because the roads are smooth. So I will not be going to Abosokan every now and then. And so I will not be thinking about, okay, the gearbox is this, the exhaust is that, the jack is that. No. The frequency of visiting Abosokan will also result in the kind of fare we pose on our commuters.
Okay.
And so we shouldn't look at the transport fare alone, but what are the other dimensions to it?
Okay.
If we collect it very well, we account to Ghanaians every 6 months. This is how much we have made from road toll.
Okay.
We are investing this money into the construction of Kaswa to Kaneshi Road. Everybody is alert on that. We want to see. By the end of the year, Kaswa Kaneshi Road is completed.
Okay.
Will you have issues?
No.
Even if they say the fare is 200 Ghana cedis, will you have issues?
No.
Because you realize that what you have paid, the money you are paying as tax, is being utilized
actually
very
resulted
well.
in something.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so once we see result with the taxes that we are paying, I don't think we'll be complaining about any other thing.
Okay.
But because we don't see the result, and the situation we find ourselves is the same thing, you complain. For example, let's say that you go to school, and then your building is in it's not in a nice shape. Then, as part of the school fees billing, they say building project fee. Let's say you started Form 1 or level 100. You pay building fee, level 200, building fee, 300, 400, and you are not seeing anything. Will you be happy?
Not at all.
Exactly. And so, if we pay the taxes and we don't see result, that is where we'll begin to cry. But when we see the result, like other foreign countries, will not be complaining. If we were to be in Singapore, last week we had the same celebration with Singapore.
Okay.
Where is Singapore now?
And where is Ghana now?
Exactly.
Okay.
And you see, Ghana, Singapore, the only difference between the two countries is corruption. That is it.
That's the reality.
Yes.
Okay.
The only difference between the two countries
is
corruption. If we take corruption out and then we do things right, we'll be like Singapore.
Okay. Thank you very much. Our time is fast spent, but to my very last question to you so that we wrap up. Yeah, is still on this betting tax. I mean, this e-levies, betting tax and all of that, that will definitely be scrapped. Now, how is that going to affect businesses and that of consumers?
Okay, so the betting tax, when taken, the guys in the betting industry, they are not going to pay tax. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you see, let's say if you win 100 cedis, you pay a tax of 10 cedis. Now, that 10 cedi is being restored to your money.
Okay.
And so, people who are selling, consumers, will have more money in our pocket. And so, we'll consume more. You know, previous weeks, we spoke about this price of food hiking in the system.
Yeah.
When we have more money in our pocket, the purchasing power is huge.
Okay.
We'll buy more.
Sure.
And then we enforce those in the production sector to produce more. So if we wear African wear, like I love because I'm an African.
Okay, sure.
It means that I am encouraging the people in the industry to produce more of the fabric so that we can buy. If I like wache, now my 10 cedi that they have been taking is restored.
Okay.
And because of that, I was eating maybe once or twice. Now I can afford to eat 3 times. So we are increasing the portfolio of consumers by taking off those burdens on them.
On them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you look at it in the long run, you open up space for people who are not in that sector to also come in. Now, when they come in, you are not taxing those who are winning, but you are taxing the companies. So it means that more companies will come into the betting sector. And so government will be gaining more from them because now there is no tax on the people. So more people would
want to venture into that.
Exactly. And so their corporate tax component will also increase. You get it?
Okay.
If there are 10 people over there, now we have taken betting tax of 10% withholding from it. It means that if we do our maths very well, we are inviting about 100% of the existing company to add up. And so if government is previously they are gaining, let's say 200,000, 100% of 200,000 is 400,000. So government is gaining more by removing the small amount of tax. You get it? And so the little things that we take from our system goes a long way to impact the system in a large way that if we were doing proper calculations, we will not be here today.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much. I think our time is fast spent.
Last question before we wrap up. So after your assessment, and looking at the budget, do you think these people or the NDC government can reset Ghana according to the budget?
That can be done based on the initial 4 components that I stated.
Okay.
Discipline in both the monetary and the physical space, transparency in the implementation of all this,
Okay.
and then accountability. And so if they are transparent and they are accountable, Ghanaians will come to you at every 6 months to tell you the progress of it, especially with this Ghana Gold Board agenda. If they are transparent with that and they are accountable, I think that we'll have some realistic resetting, and then Ghana will smile again.
Okay, indeed. All right, so thank you so much for doing this with us this morning. We actually had with us Dr. Godwin Gaduga. He is a chartered economic policy analyst, and I also did this with Nana Kobina Radio. And that's how we wrap up for Business Talk this morning. Up next is some entertainment trends. Please stay.